Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mindful Monday. It's another Monday, another week. What a great way to start mindfully. So let's start in any position, any shape, any seat or lying down position that makes you feel just awesome this morning. And I have a blanket under my butt. I highly suggest that, just to get the hips up a little bit higher than the knees. It really makes lengthening the spine a little bit easier. And also, it gives us a little more space for our breath. Hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. Maybe a little smile curves on your lips, even if you're not feeling it. Even if you're not feeling it, just notice what happens when your lips curl at the edges. And just settle in. We'll just pay attention. And that's really the simple definition of mindfulness. Simply paying attention in this moment. So notice what you brought to your mat. The body, the mind, emotions, your spirit. We're just cultivating an awareness. Wherever it is, just recognize it for what it is. If you're feeling a little stiff this morning, just notice it. If you're reflecting on yesterday, just notice that, where the mind is. If you're feeling awesome and joyful and great, just notice that. And then bring yourself into this present moment with all of that awareness. And give yourself permission to just pay attention to all of you, and just for this next 45 minutes or so. Just being aware of all the simple and complicated aspects of yourself. As we try to stay present for the breath and the movement and the simple shapes and the more complicated shapes that we will make. So take a breath. Just notice how that felt. Accept that. And let's commit to a few mindful breaths together as we begin our practice. Soften the belly. Invite in a deeper in-breath, allowing the belly to expand and fill up all the way up to the tops of the lungs. And then just release that breath, however it feels right on that first breath, maybe through the lips or through the nose. And just get rid of all that air. Let it go. And then we'll begin again, gently closing the lips this time, inviting in that breath through the nostrils. Filling up completely as possible. Just noticing, and then letting go slowly. Try to keep that exhalation a little slower than the inhalation. This is going to bring our parasympathetic nervous system online, inviting in some relaxation. Take another big full breath. And release it slowly. And then pausing here, just allow the breath to become more natural and just notice. Notice if there have been any shifts just from that short mindfulness practice, bringing us into this moment. Is it easier to inhale? Is it easier to be a little more present? And if you're ready, blink open your eyes. Let's get this party started. Bring your hands to the outsides of your legs. If you're not in a seat, come on, join us. And then draw that belly into the spine as you lower your chin down to your chest. Exhale all the air out of your body as much as you can. And then inhale as you shine your heart, lift your gaze, draw those shoulders back. And exhale as you come back into that seated cat pose. And inhale, shine your heart, lift your gaze. Let's take one more here, rounding, bringing that belly deep into the spine as much as you can. And then inhale as you draw those shoulders back. Good. And then we're going to take our feet and bring them together. Let's come into Badakanasana. So the bottoms of the feet come together. You can wrap your hands around your feet. And then see if you can lower your knees toward the floor. Now, if this bothers your knees, you can always bring your legs out a little bit farther. But just take a moment here to be mindful of the flexibility you are creating in this very moment. Let's take 3 breaths together here, drawing that heart forward. And just sitting up tall, maybe closing your eyes, really tuning in. We're not really trying to do anything, we're just accepting what is, being mindful of where we are, where our legs are in space, how this is stretching us, making us more flexible. Let's take this next breath, and on your exhale, we'll come forward, just ever so slightly checking in with that lower back, finding that spot where it's sweet, but not too intense. So just find that edge, that sweet spot. And then we'll take 3 breaths here. Maybe close your eyes, tune in to your inner thighs, your hips, and see if you can encourage a softness here. Find some little bit of stretch in the legs. Feel free to round your shoulders, take your chin to your chest if that feels good. One more deep inhalation. And then a slow, long exhalation. You've got this. Good. And on your next in-breath, slowly rise up. I'm mindful that my tummy is growling. Take your hands to the outsides of your legs and draw them up. Back up to center. Maybe give your ankles a nice little massage here. And let's take our hands behind us, windshield washer, right and left, waking up the hips. Good. And we're going to stay here for just a moment. I'm going to take my right leg and send it forward, and take my left leg and bring it to the inside of the right. And so we are in a half Badakanasana with this left leg. So if you feel like your knee is high up off of the ground, just maybe tuck a blanket or a block under there. But if you're feeling okay with this, go ahead and flex your right foot. See if your toes are pointing toward the ceiling, and if not, encourage them to do so. And then reach up high, get really long in the side body. Take a big breath in, and then slowly come forward. Find your forward fold. Now, if you have a strap, this is a really nice place for one. You can wrap it around this, the ball of the right foot, and then use your strap to bring you deeper into the stretch, if that's where you are this morning. If not, just reach for the ankle, the foot, and then surrender here. And just notice where you are. We'll take 3 breaths here, so you can close your eyes here. Feeling into the lower back and that right hamstring, the left hip. There's a lot going on. See if you can tune in, pay attention, find some awareness of yourself. Good. Notice if the back of the neck is a little tight. See if you can find a spot, a sweet spot where it's not feeling strained. Just that soft, easy place where the neck feels good. We'll take one more breath in, and as we do, just slowly walk your way up. Take your fingertips to the outsides of the right leg, and then we'll switch. So send that left leg long and take the right foot to the inside of the left ankle, propping yourself up as you feel you are needed. It is needed for you. And then take yourself into your forward fold. Find your sweet spot on this side. And just allow the right hip to soften. Send the toes up toward the ceiling. We'll take 3 breaths here. Just slowly beginning this practice with some gentle, passive poses. It's kind of checking in. Good. Easy breezy this Monday morning. We'll take one more big deep breath, and as you do, take your hands to either side of the left leg and slowly walk your way up. And then release the right leg. Just take your hands behind you, point and flex a couple of times. Point those fingers inward. We're going to use the strength of our arms to lift us up to a reverse plank. Yeah, so again, keep that length in the neck. Feel the strength of your arms, a little bit of a back bend. You can feel your core kicking in, maybe point your toes. We'll take one more breath. And exhale your way back down to your mat. And we'll come on up to tabletop. Our favorite little shape here to get started. It's one of my favorites anyway. So place something under your knees, especially if you don't have nice cushioning there. And then take your hands under your shoulders. Spread your fingers nice and wide. You can start with your hands facing you, your fingers facing you, if you want to get a little stretch of your wrist. And then when you're ready, we'll just place our hands right under our shoulders. Do a little shake. And then come into your tabletop. So again, lengthen the neck, tops of the feet on the floor. Let's drop our belly. Lift our gaze and our tailbone. Come into your cow pose. And then on your exhalation, press your mat away as you draw your belly into your spine, taking your chin to your chest, coming into that Halloween cat shape. Good. Take a few more here, moving with your own breath. Working out the kinks in the spine. Nice. Slow and steady. Good. Let's take one more each. And end in that Halloween cat shape, mindfully pressing the mat away. And then take your knees wide as your mat, bring your big toes to touch, sink your hips back. We'll come into a child's pose. So this is a nice pose also to begin our day. So maybe your forehead comes to a block, and that feels really nice. Or maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat. Placing the center of the forehead right there. You can rock from side to side. And then find stillness in this child's pose. Make this a pose of surrender. So notice your shoulders. If this isn't comfortable for you, your hands can come back behind you. Maybe reach for the outsides of your legs. See if you can find a place where you can stay for 3 breaths. And let's enjoy this child's pose. Simple, but not so simple, right? See if you can allow your hips to soften. Your knees will be here for a couple more breaths. So if this doesn't work for you, we will be heading upwards. If you'd like to press into a downward facing dog, land there before us. Always the option. Let's take one more big breath. And let it go. And then take your hands back. We'll come back through table. Clear away your mat if there's anything there. And then bring your hands a little forward of where they were in tabletop. Tuck your toes. Feel that stretch in the back of the legs and the foot. And then lift your hips really slowly. Come into a mindful downward facing dog. And come on up, move your blanket out of the way if it's still there, and then take a walk with your dog, pressing one heel down, but take a mindful walk, just noticing. Noticing your legs, your calves, your hips, your shoulders, and then find stillness. See if you can come a little more straight with your legs. Look back towards your knees or your belly button. And just let your head dangle. So the back of the neck again soft. Shoulders drawing away from the ears. Take a nice big breath in. And then come up on your toes. Stretch those feet again. Feels so good. And then look forward. Take a slow walk all the way to the front of your mat. And we'll come into our first forward fold. So once you get there, just take some circles with your wrist. And then find a place where you can hang, literally. Let's hang together. So maybe it's ragdoll, maybe your hands come to your elbows and your head dangles in this little alcove you've made for yourself. And bend your knees as much as you need to protect your lower back. Maybe it's a lot, maybe it's a little. Take a couple full breaths here. Let's take 3. We're on a roll with the 3, so let's take 3, unless you're feeling dizzy. In which case, come on up halfway. So hands can come to shins. You can come up halfway here. Good. Let's find some stillness. And just notice what we have. In every shape, let's be mindful. So every shape gives us a different sensation. So just notice what those sensations are. Be with them for one more breath. And on your exhalation, come up halfway. We'll join our friends. I'm a little close to the wall here, so come on up halfway and create that half table. And notice where your shoulders are in space. See if you can draw them away from the ears. And maybe straighten your legs a little bit more so you're feeling that hamstring. Maybe there's a little tiny pelvic tilt here, so you're getting a little bit of a back bend, if that feels good for you. Take a nice breath in and a full breath out. And then we'll refold. So see if you can keep your legs on the straighter side, maybe just a little bend of the knees. Bring your fingertips to the floor or your blocks. And then root to rise, press into your feet. Press all those joints of the toes into the mat as you draw yourself up. Reaching all the way up and looking up. Texting. No texting. Testing your balance. Looking up. No texting during yoga. That's not very mindful. Good. So reach all the way up and take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand and take a side stretch. Make that C Oh gosh, this is going to be tough. C shape with your body. And press that left foot into the mat as much as your right. Breathe in, breathe out. Look under the left arm pit. I really don't like saying armpit. Sorry. There's got to be a technical term for it. If anybody knows it, put it in the chat. One more breath in. And exhale it out as you stand up straight. Reaching up again, looking up, finding that length, feeling those feet firmly planted in mountain pose. And then take a hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Take that C shape over here. Look under your right arm pit. You got to smile, right? Take a big breath in. Keep pressing that right foot into the floor. Engage that right leg. Get really strong in both legs. And on your next breath in, reach up, look up at your fingertips. See if you can lean back a little bit, maybe look towards your thumbs. Just a gentle back bend, pressing the pelvis forward. Good. And come back up to center. Bring your palms together, draw them right down through the heart center. And we'll just pause here, bringing hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Just take a moment here. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. If you're feeling steady, close your eyes and just notice. Notice the hands meeting one another at the heart. Notice your body in space. Feeling your feet connected to the ground beneath you. Take a nice breath in and a full breath out. Good. When you're ready, blink open your eyes. Inhale, reach up. Let your palms touch. Exhale, fold. Move a little faster. Find the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. And exhale, take your hands to the floor. Step back with your right leg. Let's come into Anjanyasana. So lower that right knee, lower the top of the right foot. And just come to your fingertips first. Shine your heart forward. Notice how this feels. And look down at your left knee. See if it's over that left ankle. See if you can readjust, if not. And then bring your hands on up to this left leg. And lean forward ever so slightly so more weight can come into this left foot. If your right knee is bothering you, towel or blanket underneath will do wonders. And we'll breathe here for 3. All right, let's stick with the plan. Good. Maybe lean forward a little bit more if you're enjoying this stretch in your hip flexor. Yeah, good. Soften your neck. Keep a nice awareness of where you are, mindful of your body, mindful of your thoughts. Let's take one more breath in and let it go. And then bring your hands to frame this left foot. Sink your hips back. Lift those left toes. And then see if you can scooch them forward a little bit. Coming into just a bit of a split. Now, this is intense. So you always have the option of taking a block somewhere underneath you. If you'd like to take it a little bit deeper, come into more of a split. Or always the option to stay right where you were. Shine your heart, lift your gaze, and as you exhale, see what happens if you come forward and just bow toward that left knee. So you may not be as deep in this split, or you may be deeper. Wherever you are, just notice and accept, and then take those 3 breaths. See if you can land here, staying here. Softening as things get intense. We're making ourselves more flexible. If you're too far into this and you're feeling like you need to come out a little bit, just bring your fingertips to the floor and slowly make your way out. Let's take one more breath. And then we're going to draw that foot back. And sometimes the mat, I'm going to exaggerate because that's what always happens. Yeah, it does. The mat will come with you, so don't feel like you're the only one. We're all like this. Tuck the right toes and then lift that right knee off the floor. We're going to take a little jump with this right foot. So think about it. And then it's just going to come forward just ever so slightly and straighten that left leg again. Come up to your fingertips or blocks right here. If you love your blocks, I love the blocks too. They kind of block me, so I don't always use them. Haha, get it? Okay. Inhale, come to your halfway lift, and exhale, let's take one more bow toward this left leg in pyramid pose. So toes facing forward, legs on the straightest side, meaning you can have a little bend in the knee. Just protect that left hamstring if it's feeling a little stressed. Good. I'm going to move these blocks out of the way, but you keep yours there, just so you can see what we're doing. And then this is going to be kind of fun. It's a little bit of a shift. We're ready for a shift now. We've readied ourselves. So we're going to take our hands forward or our blocks forward, and then keep your weight in your left foot and see if you can lift your right leg up to the sky, coming into your standing split. So you can play around with balance here if you want to take your left hand to your left leg, if you want to try both and try to balance here. Yeah. Good. We're upside down, so if you feel dizzy, you can always come up a little bit more. Good. One more breath. Let's keep that 3 breath thing that we've got going here. Excellent. And then we're just going to take this right leg to meet the left and come into forward fold. While we're in our forward fold, take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes, bend your knees as much as you need to get into this forward fold, and then slowly straighten your legs, draw your elbows out. Yeah, shake your head yes and no. I think we're on about our second breath, so let's keep that 3 breath pattern that we've got going. And on this next inhalation, release your fingers, and then we'll slowly rise up, just one vertebra at a time. Let's take it slow. And the head and the shoulders will be the last to come up. Draw those shoulders back. Find your mountain pose. So let's bring the palms facing forward and draw the shoulders back. Good. Notice where your chin is in space. Just be very mindful. Take a little inventory. We've got 3 breaths here to do that. So you want to be alert, but not stiff. So we're working on our flexibility. So as we shift from shape to shape, we have some grace. So just be alert, but not, super stiff. Kind of keep it loose. Alert, but loose. Those are my words, not yogi words. Good. When you're ready, we're going to root to rise. Inhale, reach up. Let's take a side bend over to the left. So reach for your right wrist with your left hand and take that C shape. Maybe you have a little more in you, so really engage that right leg as you press the right foot into the floor and see if you can lean a little more, make a more of a C shape, getting that side stretch on the right side. 2 and 3. Good. On your next inhalation, reach up and look up. Let's take the side stretch on the right. Good. Pressing into those feet, engaging the legs, side bend. Good. Noticing where you feel it. Big breath in, long breath out. Let's get to that third one. We've got this. Maybe take it a little bit deeper here. Stretching that side body, so good. And then on your next breath in, reach up. Test your balance, look up. Good. Lean back just a little bit, look at your thumbs, maybe take a little more of a back bend here. You can always take your hands back to your lower back. Squeeze your shoulders together, shoulder blades, that is. And then on your next inhalation, root to rise, reach up. Let's exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, take your fingers to the floor or a block. Step on back with your right leg. And then lower the right knee to the floor, right top of the foot to the floor. And we'll slowly make our way into Anjanyasana, finding that hip flexor stretch. Maybe leaning forward, shining your heart. Good. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. See where it feels good on this side. So you can really feel that sensation in the hip flexor. So make it your own. Always tuck something under your knee if it's tender. Good. Nice big breath in. And a long breath out. I think this is our third. Good. Breathe in and breathe out. And then when you're ready, fingertips come to the floor or the blocks. Let your hips come back towards your heels. Lift the left toes. And then decide, you can totally stay here. This is fine. Stay here, bring your nose towards your knee. Or if you'd like to come into more of a split and use your block, figure that out. It's intense, I know, just decide. Be where your body needs it to be, your shape, your practice. Come back to your breath, come back to this moment. Good. It can be intense, so even acknowledge the intensity. I'm acknowledging it. Maybe explore a little bit more where that intensity lies. For me, it's in the left hamstring, pretty deep. So see if you can pay some attention there. For one more breath, I know it's probably more than 3. I forgot to count. I'm so intent on my hamstring. When you're ready, slowly draw that foot back. Who cares if your mat comes back? Just, it's a thing. So when you're ready, we're going to tuck the right toes. We're going to come up to our pyramid pose. So we're on like railroad tracks. So the right foot is about, hip width from the left. Legs are straight. Come up halfway. And then take your bow as you're ready, bringing your nose towards your left knee. Neck soft, crown of the head. Reaching toward the floor. You've got this. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Slow breaths. Notice where you feel this. Feel all the places. So feel into that right heel pressing to the floor, that right calf getting a stretch, and the left hamstring. Maybe it's in a different place than we just felt. So just take your awareness there, be mindful. One more breath in, and we'll lift up, and I'm going to use my block here because you can see it. So my block here is right here in front of my left foot. No, wait, I'm not using my block, sorry, I'm totally doing something else. Take your hands in front of your left foot. Bring your weight into your left foot, that's what I'm doing. And then lift that right leg, come into a standing split. Yeah, this is something here. Yeah, we don't use our block for that. We will use our block in just a moment. So nose toward the knee. This is a balance pose, so notice the wobble and play around with this. So get kind of curious, like what can I do? Can I hold on to my ankle? Can I kind of let that balance challenge happen, all the while keeping the breath smooth and steady. Good. Soft necked. One more breath. And then lower that right foot to meet the left. We're going to root to rise. Good job. That was intense and slow and mindful, and you guys did it. Let your hands come together and let your palms meet together at your heart center. And just take a moment here and just pause. Feel your own presence. So the palms, there's a lot of energy in the palms. So see if you can feel that energy gathering there at your hands that are meeting right at your heart center. Good. Take a nice big breath in and a long, slow breath out. And then blink your eyes open, shake it out, shake your hips, shake your arms, let it go. Maybe roll your shoulders a few times. We're going to reset. Now let's take our blocks. Let's place one at one end if you have a block. You don't necessarily need a block, and one at the other end. And we'll play with them there. Good. And then lift and spread your toes, lower them down. Find your mountain pose. Good. And then we're going to take our feet wide. So bring them about as wide as you can. Maybe not as wide as your mat. And then take your hands behind you, clasp them, send them down as low as you can. See if you can get your palms to come together, drawing your shoulder blades toward one another. And then we're going to come forward just halfway. Find that halfway point, that half lift. And then if you're comfortable, lift your arms up overhead, stretch your shoulders and let your head hang. Good. See if you can get your arms up a little bit tighter as you press into all four sides of your feet. So really thinking about the outsides of both feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's see, we'll get to our third breath. Let it go. And then release your hands and take your right hand to the outside of your left ankle. And then sweep your left arm up, take a twist. Trying to keep those hips as square as possible. Nice breath in, slow breath out. Good, one more. And then sweep that left arm over to the right ankle. Go ahead and take your twist on this side. Excellent. Second breath. Maybe take your gaze up there. And on your third breath in, enjoy the twist. And on that exhalation, come on down. And then we're going to turn our way over toward the back of our mat. Take a hold of your block with your right hand and place it just ahead of you. So ahead of your right foot on the right. And then bend your right knee. We're going to lift up into a half moon. So maybe I need to scoot back so you can for sure see. So bring your weight into this right foot, but keep that right knee over the right ankle. And then we're slowly going to straighten it as we lift this left leg and then peel that left arm up, coming into our half moon. So flexing the left foot, maybe taking your gaze up if you're feeling really steady, maybe keeping your gaze down. Your choice. Be mindful of where you need to be as you continue your breath. So we've got about one more. Keep it slow and easy. You guys got this. Breathe in. Let it go. Good. And then we're going to slowly come down, leave that block where it is, lower that left foot down, and then just take your feet and turn them toward the front of your mat. bend that left knee, reach down for your left block and take it in your left hand. Take your left block. Oh my goodness. So take it in your left hand. I think I need to scooch back a little bit. This placement is not ideal. Hopefully you guys have more room. So the block goes right in front of your left foot to the outside. Look at this left knee over the left ankle as much as possible, and we're going to bring our weight into our left foot and come in. I'm still not too close to the wall. Lift up that right leg. Come into your half moon. So take some strength in this leg. Hopefully it's ready for the shift into this shape after all the stretching. Good. So go ahead and flex that right foot. Take your gaze upward or downward. Find a drishti, find your solid gazing point. Excellent. One more breath. Smiling is a good idea because it's only yoga. And then slowly bring your right foot to meet your left. Let's get rid of that block. Let's let that go. And then we'll just come to the center of our mat and take a seat. Here we go. Let's take a comfortable twist. So prop yourself up if you like and take your your left knee over your right with your right heel up, tucked up towards your left glute. You know. You can always extend your leg if you like. Then we'll take that twist over the left shoulder. Stretch out the hip. Really good work. Just notice your heartbeat here as we breathe in this twist, taking that right rib cage toward the left and gently stretching the neck. Nice deep breath. Feel that breath filling the belly, the ribs, the lungs. And on this next one, let's unwind and we'll switch sides. A little more twisting. We want to make sure we get in all our shapes. Forward and back, side to side, twisting. So take it over to the right side. Take a nice big deep breath to lift and lengthen. Use your exhalation to twist you. Left rib cage. Think about the mid back. Use your breath. So let the breath be your massage therapist. Thinking about all those organs, just getting an internal massage. The deeper the breath, the deeper the massage. So good. Nice big breath in, last one. And let your exhalation unwind you. So good, so good. Let's come to our backs. Come on down. When you're ready, come on, go ahead, hug your knees into your chest. Just enjoy this release of the lower back. Maybe rock from side to side. Good. Then lower your feet to the floor. Take your hands to the mat. We're going to peel our backs up, coming into a bridge pose. One last back bend. We haven't done a whole lot of back bending today. So let's be here for 3 breaths. So if this is too much, you can always come down and come back up. But let's see if we can come into our bridge, really snuggling those shoulders together underneath, pressing the feet into the floor, keeping those knees parallel. Just see if you can lift a little bit higher as you breathe. And let's take 3 full breaths here. Maybe lift a little bit higher on this last one. And then use your exhalation to slowly lower yourself down one vertebra at a time until you find that tailbone on the ground, and then lower one leg and then the other. And just feel that sense of length in the body. Just notice. Be mindful of what's making contact with the ground and what isn't. And then hug your right knee in, gently twist it over across to the left. Maybe open up the right arm. Maybe turn your gaze toward the right. Like a final twist here. Final opportunity to soften as we find more flexibility. Good. Feel the breath, how it's different in every shape. Just a little bit different, but it's still there. Thankfully. And come back to center on that third breath. Release the right leg and hug the left knee in, and then draw it across the body. Take your gaze over to the left and just soften. See if you can soften that left shoulder. Good. Three full breaths. 3 luxurious, deep, complete rounds of breath. Because you deserve it. Yes, you do. And on that third one, come on back to center. Release it all, let it go. Bring your legs as wide as your mat. Tuck your blanket anywhere it would feel awesome, maybe on your belly. I'll demonstrate. Just a little, like a little weight on the belly. Sometimes feels comforting. Let your shoulders be tucked underneath you so you have a nice wide expansive heart, and then let those palms rest face up, and give yourself this moment to integrate all these places we've been, all these body parts we've stretched, all the mindfulness, paying attention. Just let it all integrate into body, mind, emotion, spirit. It's all you. Just be. Slowly begin to deepen the breath. Staying where you are if you feel mindfully that you want to just stay put. If you'd like to join me in a seat, take a moment to roll to one side, just noticing what you've done, the flexibility you've created, ability to move through the world with more grace and ease, and a mindful awareness of the importance of the breath, slowing down, taking time, just being present for yourself. It's not selfish at all. Truly, we need more of this. When you're ready, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Allow your eyes to close and just take a moment to tune in. Notice the difference between when we started and now. I feel a marked difference. When you're ready, sweep your arms up. Take your palms together, draw them down to your heart center. Take a bow of reverence to yourself. Feel the hands pressing into prayer. And then allow that prayer to go out to someone who comes to mind, who could use a prayer. And blink your eyes open, bring your thumbs to your seat of wisdom, your third eye. Oh, and I have a little joke. What did the yoga teacher say to the yoga student? Don't just do something, sit there. My husband laughed at that. So with that, I send you into your week. Namaste. My husband thought it was funny.
That's sort of funny.
Sort of stupid.
Right.
All right, who's here?
Connie, how do you feel about underarms?